Hello and welcome. Today we are sketching some fishes and I'm really excited about this one. I have in my head the thought that I need to be using both of my oil pastels that I have. Ever since I got the gallery, it's like the Pentel ones just kind of faded into the background and they're sad, so I need to use them. I've heard that people use Pentel for sketching, so I wanted to give it a shot. I found that that's actually really good advice to use them for sketching because they act a lot more like pencils. I don't know, it was drier than the gallery ones. So I actually had a really good time sketching with the Pentel ones. I do find a use for them later and it's really cool. This one turned out a little bit weird, so I don't like it and I'm covering it up. I know myself and I know that I will get confused with my lines, so I scribbled over all of the old stuff so that it would help me remember that I want to change it. That tadpole is a tadpole, please don't get confused. But as I was drawing, I wanted to essentially fill out the spaces with anything that would fit in them, and I can already tell that there are some that I'm really excited about and some that I am like, they're okay. And I think that's all right. They can't all be favorites. But now that the sketch is done, let's take out these bad boys and we will start coloring them up. I started with the very left because I didn't want to smudge my fingers all over the place, and spoiler alert, at the very end, I do smudge so much. Anyway, this goldfish does get the brunt of the smudging, unfortunately. But I'll tell you that this fish was one of the fish that I was the most excited to draw, to color up, because of his big bulging eyes. I love how thoughtless they are. I love how he has zero thoughts in his head. Did I already say that? Maybe I'm still running on one brain cell. Did I totally just transfer my thoughtless self into this fish? Maybe that's why I love him so much, because I could see myself in him. Hey, did you like that fin trick? I was thinking about how to do that, and then I thought of cookie decorating videos. They do that a lot in cookies, and I thought, hey, why not let's do that? This eye, I accidentally made his pupil wobbly, and I kept it because I think it adds to his vacant appearance. Hey, is anybody else watching Naruto with their kids? I've never seen it before, and me and my husband are watching it with our 3 kids, and it's been a total blast. I couldn't decide what color I wanted up here, and I chose blue at first, and then I scrape it away, and then I cover it up with purple. I end up not liking the purple either, but I think it's important that I kept this in here so that you could see that you can change things up. You know, especially if you scrape it away, if you're trying to go for a different color, scraping it roughs up the surface so that the color that you put on top of it really sticks. So I decided to try something a little bit different with this tail fin just so that all of the fins aren't totally uniform. Now, what I didn't show you was that with that brush, I wanted to see if I could blend the pastels with that brush, and instead it didn't blend, but it really just made it nasty looking. You can see on the forehead that there's like that dark spot there. That's from the brush, and I don't fix it because I really just wanted to be done with this one. Now, I was having fun, but I just didn't want to deal with fixing a problem, so I moved on to the next one. The only word that I can use to describe him is chuffed. Maybe chuffed to bits? Is that... Do I have to put on a British accent to say that, or am I okay? But for his body, I kind of chose cotton candy colors with green included, and I kind of did them in stripes, and I tried to keep the yellow right in the center because in my head, it was a little bit like a sunset on water. That's kind of how I went about doing this. I wanted to try something with him, and I'm really, really excited to show you. This right here. I really just twisted my blending tool all over him to try to make him look sparkly, and then I went over the sparkle bits with white. Now, I didn't like how the gallery pastels were working. It wasn't white enough, so I decided to take out the Pentel ones and kind of scrape the color onto it so that it would have like that 3D effect where there's just a chunk of oil pastel sitting on him. Now, I'm glad that I experimented and tried something new, but I have to admit I don't like the white on top. I kind of wish that I only kept the twisty bits. But let's move on to this next one. Now, I have to be completely honest here. I don't like this one. I was gonna be more subtle. He turns out really cute. He's my 5-year-old son's favorite one on the whole spread, so it's not that it's bad. It's maybe just that the two fishes on both sides, the long boy and then the one on the right under my hand, it looks like they're looking at each other, and it kind of feels like this turtle is just kind of in the way. There was also a problem where he was starting to feel a lot like, what's that turtle, the baby turtle's name on Finding Nemo? That's all I could see when I was drawing him. So I was trying to separate him from, what is his name? Squirt? I'm pretty sure it's Squirt. And if that's true, I am very impressed with myself. My name recall is less than par, subpar, some would say. Hey, did you guys notice that the light change happened? Yeah, this is a new day. I'm having so much trouble figuring out with the change of the season when is the best time to record. I really like how natural sunlight looks when I'm recording, but now that the season is changing, it's starting to be a little bit different of a time of day that is best. Anyway, this is all beside the point. Look at this robot. He's so cute, and I'm so excited about him. I decided to give him flippers so that it would make sense for him to be underwater, and I had to change up his eyes because I thought that it would make more sense for his eyes to be looking at the goldfish. And essentially, I had to go bigger with the eyes so that I could cover up the first sketch. I don't like how big they are, but that's kind of what you're gonna have to deal with when you cover stuff up. I think I messed up a little bit with maybe the way that they're looking. I don't know. I think the eye that's close, that's on the left, needs to be less circular and more flat, because that eye would be on the other side of the face, like rounding that way. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal, but I wish that I could have gotten it a little bit better. But at the same time, this is for fun, but I also wish, it bugs me a little bit. Actually, now that I'm looking at this from a viewer's perspective, I think it's that the right eye, our right eye, you guys, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, I think it's the right eye is too far to the right. I think I should have put the right eye closer and had it be like right next to the other eye. Ultimately, it's not that big of a deal. This is just for fun. It's actually still helpful to know where your wrongdoings are when you look back, even if it is just for fun, so that next time I draw a robot, I'll know to put the eyes a little bit closer together. This part was an afterthought, and it looks really cool. I'm glad that I added these lines. It gives him like an extra element of robotness, and I am so in love with it. Now let's move on to this tadpole. I wanted to keep him very simple, and he's gonna be angry. He's gonna be like the tough little, he's like Naruto, who's very tiny but will take on the biggest opponent. So he's gonna be angry at the eel. I imagine that the eel is being a big old bully, and this tiny little creature with the hollowest of eyes is standing his ground and not letting the eel get away with it. And also, he has multiple of himself. One wasn't enough, so I decided to create 3 of them, and it's really funny that I introduced Naruto to this, because this is classic shadow clone jutsu. He makes 3 of himself. But I really thought that he was such a simple design that I didn't want just one simple thing. If I could have 3 simple things, it would kind of make more sense. I thought it kind of made sense for this last guy to be looking at the goldfish in just complete, like he's got to know his surroundings and he's a little bit concerned. But I end up going back to the first guy and trying to make him look angry, and it doesn't look good. But that's okay. I come back to it a little bit later and I do try to fix it. And it doesn't turn out great, to be honest, but it's okay. On to this next one though. I knew that I wanted her to be the most beautiful, like angelic fish. I don't think she's an angelfish, and I don't know enough about fish in general. I don't think any of these fish are actually real, but it's really fun to let go of what's supposed to be real and kind of play off of what you think a fish should look like. So that's what I'm doing here. And I chose the most like pastel colors that I had, which were, you know, these colors that you can see in front of your face. I don't need to tell you what they are. But I really liked how I did that first goldfish's fin, so I did that here too. And you know what? Honestly, I think she might be a goldfish. Maybe that's all I think fishes are just long boys or goldfish. All of them. But I realized with her that I haven't done any scales yet. What? This is a fish spread and I haven't done any scales. So I decided to introduce scales to her just so that one fish will be like a traditional fish. When I was sketching out the spread, I didn't have any plan for what I wanted the coloring to look like with all of these. So the fact that this one turns out to be very girly, and then the fish on the other side, the chuffed fish, was very much like a boy and they were looking at each other, it just kind of fell into place that they were in love looking at each other. And that's ultimately my problem with the turtle in between them, because he's just... Looking at him now, it actually makes me laugh because he looks so oblivious to their love. But, you know, maybe he's their child. Totally oblivious to everything around them. So let's move on to this next one. Really, the thing that I was excited about the most with this mean eel was his teeth. I was really excited to explore meanness with teeth, but then as soon as I got the teeth down, I was like, well, now what? The teeth are done. That's all I wanted to draw was the teeth. And then I had this huge body that I had to color up. And you know that I like drawing smaller things. So the fact that this body was so big, I was like, man, I should have maybe done him smaller. But you know, ultimately, I still like him. I really like the relationship between him and the tadpoles. I think it's like that to me means more. Even though I didn't have fun drawing him, he's still important. I thought it would be really funny to have one big pink lip. So that's what I did. I had to scrape away the blue to get the pink to attach better. And then once the lips were down, I realized that the teeth weren't as nasty looking as I wanted them to be, so I add just a little bit more gunk to make the teeth look extra like dirty and disgusting. There is a fish on top of this guy, and the whole time that I'm drawing this eel, I'm imagining kind of the personality of this little fish, and I imagine him to be like the yeah, like he's like the sidekick that stands in the back and is like, yeah, fight that guy, beat him up. What do bad guys say? I don't know, but he's that guy, right? But then as soon as he gets talked to that way, he'll swim away so fast. But real quick, with this picture, I wanted to implement the oil pastel texture, so I was laying it on really thick and twisting it every time. And then when I did that, it picked up some of the blue, so I kept having to clean it, which is fine. Like, that's how you should be using oil pastels. But yeah, I thought that was kind of like a cool touch to give him like a little touch of a lion's mane so that he looked maybe a little bit extra mean. So it's time to start drawing this little guy, and I imagined that he looks up to the eel so much that he wants to be him, even though he'll never be that big. So I chose colors that were very similar to the eel and tried to design him in a way that was close, but not, so that he still had his own personality. The whole time that I was drawing this spread, I had in my head that this fish was going to be camouflaged against the eel, so he would have the same colors, the same, like, really you wouldn't be able to see him. But then as I was thinking, I was like, well, shoot, you wouldn't be able to see him. How do I draw that? So I ended up going in the direction where his colors are similar so that because he kind of wants to be the eel. And I think that was a good direction to go because he turns out really cool and I love his expression. So now all the fishes are done, let's work on adding in a background. I knew that I wanted to add in sun rays at the very top, and then as it went down, I wanted to darken up the colors. This guy, I couldn't add in the background until I added in his flashlight looking at the goldfish. And I'm so glad I remembered that because this turns out to be one of my favorite touches of the whole spread. It gives like an extra element of something that's happening between these characters on the page. It just gives one more reason for your eye to jump around from one fish or robot to the next. And I think that's really fun. I like it when there's some kind of a relationship between all of the things on the page. That is why, and I keep saying this, but that's why I ended up not liking the turtle so much because it didn't fit. Like, even though the turtle turned out great, it just didn't turn out to fit the story that ended up happening. And, you know, it is what it is. I still think the spread turned out really cool, and I like all the little moments in it, just not the turtle. But we're not saying that anymore. I need to stop. But this is how I ended up fixing the turtle situation. I was going in and adding in the sun rays, and then I realized sun rays don't only have to be behind. I put sun rays in front of him to push him back a little bit so that the two other fish could be on the same plane of existence and he could be a little further back looking excited from behind. And it totally did fix a lot of my issues that I had with him. Ultimately, I still wish he wasn't there, but this is how the spread turned out. See, the fish got the brunt of the smudge on his face and everything else turned out really great. I love them all so much. I love how all of them are like interacting with each other. I keep saying that, but it's like, I like how there's a story and the story could be different depending on how you look at them and your mood, maybe. So thank you so much for coming along with me. My hands turned out super dirty. I will see you in the next one. Toodaloo.